Okay. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Jutta Marcus, and I'm going to make a presentation about the three subjects I found the most interesting about the second part of this minor. Okay, the first subject I chose was CBDCs, and that stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. Why I chose this subject is because I found the concept of central banks making a digital currency very interesting. Because we can see right now in this time that the fiat money is actually losing its value amongst everybody because people lose their faith in this currency because of governments who don't put the people first and who don't put our our uh, our our priorities first. So the fiat money is losing their value, which also results in people losing their trust in the in 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 the banks and people wanting something else than than money that they can touch. So maybe maybe a digital version is the solution for the lack of trust that the banks created. What are CBDCs? CBDCs are a digital currency of a fiat money made by a central bank. So in China, they already have that. So the Chinese yen is is digitalized. And with that digital form of the yen, people can do groceries. They can buy they can buy clothing. They can do anything they do on a daily basis with normal money, but now with with the digital version of the yen. Ledger, legal tender, and legal tender versus CBDCs. So with your bank account, that is actually not legal tender. So the money that you have on your bank account is not legal tender, but the physical money that you withdraw is that is legal tender. So the money that you have on your bank account is not actually legal. But with CBDCs, that doesn't exist anymore. So the digital money that you have with CBDCs is a legal tender instead of what we have now. So the digital money that you have now is a legal tender, but the digital money from the CBDCs is. What are the goals for CBDCs? Financial in inclusion. This is a goal because a lot of people don't really know what finances are, how they need to manage them, and what they can and how they can improve the problems they have with their finances. So if you give people the authority over their own money, they actually tend to tend to learn more about finances and how they can operate and how they can manage them better. And the inclusion, it it actually connects more people because now everybody is using one type of currency provided by one source. And right now you have ING, Rabobank, etc. So there are a lot of different sources that people use to manage their money, but with one bank that utilizes a a CBDC, then everybody gets the money from the same place. So everybody is more one, and we're more united on a of financial aspect, and everybody is included. A protection against fraud. So with the CBDCs, the government is actually aiming to protect people from the fraud that is going on, because with with physical money, it's actually easier to do fraud than with the digital money. Everything that is digital can be hacked or can be tracked to the person that did did the fraud. Um, because that is a positive side of digital money. The government wants to use CBDCs to lessen the fraud, cashless society. So as I said before, if you have a lot of cash or if you have a physical type of money, then fraud is easier. So with the digital part, if you want to do fraud, it's actually harder. Oh, because people can track you down easier and get to the source of the fraud project way faster. What problems does CBDC solve? The third party elimination. So right now, if you want to transfer money, you have your bank as the middleman. But with the CBDCs, that third party is gone. So it's you and the person you want to transfer money to. Higher cross-border costs. Right now, if you want to transfer money between countries, the costs are very high, and with CBDCs there are actually no to very low costs. It provides banking for the unbanked. So a lot of people don't use banks, and they are considered the unbanked part of the society. And with the CBDCs, it actually encourages people to use digital money. So how everybody has euros in their pocket. The goal is to provide people a digital currency that they can also use everywhere. So everybody with a phone or with a phone can use this type of money that is not the case right now on financial infrastructure. So with the digital bank, with the CBDCs, a lot of banks like the buildings that banks are running in right now will actually not be needed because these banks actually take in a lot of space. They use a lot of energy resources to stay operative, which is not needed, and CBDCs solve that problem. What are some issues? There's not enough liquidity for transactions during a a a a big crisis. So there is not enough money going around to facilitate all those digital transactions. Not enough not enough privacy as in the crypto space. So in the crypto space, every transaction can be tracked, but nobody knows actually who did the transaction. And with the CBDCs, the government wants to track every transaction to minimize the fraud. So that is an a downside if people for the people who are interested in the DeFi space. And as we all know, there's a high likelihood of getting hacked, and that is something they need to solve before issuing this CBDC in the Netherlands or in any other country. DAOs, decentralized autonomous or organization. Why I chose this is because I found the concept of a group of people choosing what they want to do for the greater good of the community very interesting, and then on a decentralized way with finance. So like a democracy, but then online. I found it very interesting. So what are DAOs? DAOs is a community-led system that uses smart contracts for authorization. So it's a group of people who vote and they use smart contracts for the authorization. So they make a rule in the form of a smart contract, and if the majority votes 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 for that rule, then the smart contract will automatically be included into the blockchain, and it will be a new rule. No one is the boss, and at the same time, everybody is the boss. So nobody has a higher function than the other person in that company. So everybody is on a equal level. The algorithm does everything that is needed in DAO. So for example, if you have a company that does sales, that does transactions, that does work with people, that does the profit and the losses, everything that a company, that a traditional company does, the algorithm does on a DAO. So everything is automated and doesn't take actual actual physical labor. There are different kind of DAOs like decentralized finance and gaming DAOs. How do you sign up members and fund activities? So DAOs issue governance tokens to DAOs put up governance tokens up for sale so people can buy them. And with those tokens, they raise funds. They help members to stay committed to the project, and they offer a voting right for the DAO. So if you buy that token, then you have the authority to make decisions for that community. It also uh, pushes people to buy those DAO tokens. How does DAO operate? So DAO is actually a net structure instead of a top-down structure. So like I said before, everybody is the boss at the same time, and at the same time, those people are not the boss. So everybody is on the same level. Everybody can write a proposal, and it will be discussed and shared on Discord or other platforms. And when the votes are in favor, then those votes will be recorded on the blockchain, and this creates a transparency that gives confidence to the people that use the DAO and use that blockchain where the DAO uh, is 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 active. NFTs. NFTs are non-fungible tokens. Why I chose NFTs is because for I think the week 4 assignment we needed to make a make NFT, and with that assignment I really learned what NFTs are and how they can be used. So and when I was doing my research, I found out that companies use NFTs to make special projects, to make to make anime series, to make a collectibles, to make real life action figures, and to link them to a NFT so that people have digital ownership and they can use that item in a game or something else, and that is very interesting. So that's why I chose NFTs. So the step for tokens, these are non-fungible tokens, and these and what it makes and what differs them from fungible tokens is the fact that they cannot be exchanged for something else. So non-fungible tokens are actually different from each other. So like have the Mona Lisa and like the Nachtwacht, those are two different type of paintings, and they cannot be intertwined or interchanged. They're NFTs are tokens that live on a blockchain and represent ownership of a unique items. So an NFT is not a picture, but it is the ownership of that picture or of the painting on a blockchain. How do they work? NFTs. The NFTs contains a piece of information about the art piece it represents. So as I said before, a artist makes a painting or a statue, and the information about the statue or about the painting, that is the NFT. The token is stored on the blockchain, and you are not the owner. And you are the owner now. So the token is made. The information of the painting is stored in the form of a non-fungible token, and that is put on the blockchain. And now you are the owner of that NFT, and now the NFT can be sold or can be traded for other assets on the blockchain. With this, with the NFT, the owner can be tracked, and the amount that the NFT has been sold for can also be monitored. And this is very useful because now you can see who owned the NFT before you and what amount it sold for. So in the future, you can maybe sell it for more, and the transactions can be tracked, so there is no hacking involved, or the hacking probability drops. The artwork is itself is not stored on the blockchain itself, but only the attribute. So as I said before, if a artist makes a painting, the painting itself is not stored on the blockchain, but the information about that painting is is made into a NFT, and that token is stored on the blockchain. So the physical painting that the artist made can still the pictures of that physical painting can still be sold, but the person who bought the NFT actually owns the painting online. But the physical painting is still not in possession of the person who bought the NFT. The person who bought the NFT actually owns it digitally and not physical. So the physical form, people can still make pictures of it, or the artist can still make pictures of it and still can sell those pictures everywhere he wants. What can NFTs provide to companies? NFTs can provide a diversification of the revenue and of the marketing. So companies use NFTs to make action figures, to make collectibles, or to make series, or to make special characters for a game that they are making. So this is a way to get new customers and to get the customers that you have interested in your company in a new way. And if your company is established for a long time in this world with NFTs, you can get new customers that know what NFTs are and know how they can be used. So you are actually letting your company getting into a new generation that is going to evolve it into another stadium of its being. And that was my presentation. I want to thank you for listening to my presentation, and uh, and thank you for the minor and the teachings that you gave.